Welcome to Family Weekend Menu with Fine Girl. I still remain your host on this show. And as you all know, all what we do here is how to make our marriage become a better place. God, all those things that we think that there are issues, how to just help us how to navigate there and become a better spouse. Let me say, a better person for your spouse. And that is just our aim here. Divorce is not an option at all, at all. No matter what you are going through, a lot of people are passing through it and God has helped them. They have landed safely, and some are still going through it, and God is still helping them. So don't think of divorce, don't think of leaving your home. What you need to do is that for you to just get knowledge, get understanding, make inquiry, ask questions on how people are doing it. And just don't just listen to a lot of things that's going on social media. Don't be an independent woman. There is nothing as sweet as spending your husband money. Is very sweet. Yes, we are on a journey, personality disorders, and today we are going to be looking at the narcissistic behavior. Narcissistic personality disorder is it falls in the cluster B, the dramatic, the emotional, and the erratic cluster of the personality disorder. This narcissistic behavior, in fact, I can teach it without looking at my jottings or whatever or my books. Because yes, I swim in it, I know what it means. But sincerely speaking, if God can help me, God can help you. If God can help, God can. Most of the things we heard about this behavior is that there is no way out of it. So let's speaking, there is a way out of it, and I'm going to show you how to navigate it today. With the help of God, with prayer is difficult. It's one of the most difficult personality to deal with because their rate of manipulation is so high. So it's one of the most difficult personality to deal with. So what is this narcissistic personality disorder? What is this narcissistic personality disorder? Let's look at what it means. This personality disorder may no okay is a mental health condition in which people have an unreasonably high sense of their own importance. It's just too unreasonably. You can't, you will just sit down, just be asking yourself, if this thing is not possible. But that is just who they are. What they demand from their partner is unreasonable. And there is nowhere you want to go and share with people and say people are saying, no, these are not, they are unreasonable. They are target that cannot be met, but they want you to do it by force, by fire, by force. And if you are not doing it, oh my goodness, you have entered into their backlist. So unreasonably important, they need and seek too much attention. Too much attention. They just want you to notice them on everything. Even if one thing about them is that there's nothing you are doing is not enough for them. You know, if somebody wants to that, okay, give me your hand, and you give the hand, he's satisfied. But the moment you give the hand, you just ask you, uh-uh. I said, give me your hand. You do your, they say, is it one hand? Bring the two. And you will be asking yourself, now the two of us are working. You say, give me, if I give you the two hands, which one will I use to swing and move? You want to stay in my front, or you are like this, I have to do like this, and you are holding the two. Will people not be asking us what happened to these people? They don't want to care. The moment you say you are not giving, you have violated the rules. So unnecessary too much attention. I want people to admire them. They just want admiration all the time. Either they deserve it, they did not deserve it, they want it, they did not want. Either they did something that can make you to say you want to admire them. No, they just want it, even in their wrong state. they still want you to admire them. And that is who they are. So these are people with this disorder may lack the ability to understand or care about other people's feeling. This is one thing that is killing. Empathy is not in their dictionary. They lack the ability to care. And if they care for you an inch, you will pay back with your blood for them. You will pay back. And they will see you as an ingrate with that little thing that they did for you. You will wish they didn't do it. You will wish this thing does not come from them, because they have no ability to care for you. But the moment they care for you, oh my goodness, you will pay back with your life. They will drain you, and you will be enjoying it. You will think, oh, this person care for me. But the day you discover that no, this is not care, this is control, this is not care, this is manipulation, this is not care, this is lack of freedom, and you demand for your freedom, oh, from that day you are in trouble with them. As long as you can stay under them, you don't mind the boast that they are giving you, and you are not ready to talk, you are good to go with them. You are their supply, and they will be giving you everything you want. But most of the time, when the woman has something to deliver, she just see herself that she can't come under. Not because she can't submit. That is not submission. That is subjugation. She wants to submit. She don't want to be suppressed. She has something to offer. And at that moment, that woman, she's in trouble. Because your voice cannot be heard when you are married to a narcissist. There is nothing you want to do. It's either you choose your voice to be heard, it's either you choose yourself against them and you are ready to leave them, or you are ready to say, I'm ready to let go. I want my purpose to die. I want my vision to die. This is just a narcissist. They don't care about what you carry. They are extremists. And behind this mask of extreme confidence, one thing about them is that they don't even know who they are. They don't have self-worth. They don't know who they are. So because they don't know themselves, they are trying to look for control, to make people to carry them. They can't build self-worth on their own. They build their self-worth on people, the number of people around them that they can carry along. So that when you see, they tell you, no, 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 we just increase our number now, our staff to 20. And you see, we are going for this. They alone cannot stand. They stand on people, a number of people that they can control, and that is what they think that is their self-worth. So, and which makes them to be easily upset by the slightest criticism. You can't correct them. You can't give them suggestion on how things should go. No, you can't do it for them. So they don't go, they don't go with it. They don't go with it. And let's look at the symptoms of a narcissist, because we have known them and this is who a narcissist is. So let's look at the symptom. They have unreasonably high sense of self-importance. We have said this when I was narrating. Excessive admiration. Feel that they deserve privileges and special treatment. Privileges, special treatment that you must give them. I used to call it public adoration. Even though they don't deserve it, just do it publicly and leave the place. That is what they are looking for. Expect to be recognized as superior even without achievement. They just want that. And that is why they run into a lot of errors, mistakes, because they want people to see that, we are doing something, we are doing something. And whereas they are seriously suffering inside because things are not working for them. People will see them as very, very high, but they too know that this thing is not high. But because that is because they want the admiration, they want the applause, they want the encomium, they want everything. So they keep putting themselves I, seeking supply, spending unnecessarily so that their supply can be plenty. I mean, if you are married to them, you can't control them. Oh. You can't, I said control. You can't correct them. You can't advise them. The best thing is padlock your mouth. Do as if you did not see whatever they are doing and focus on your life and move on with your own life. I'm not saying separate or divorce, but move on with your life because you can't correct them. You can't report them to anybody. When they narrate their story, you will wish God will open up and swallow you up. You will not be able to imagine where those words, where those statements are coming from them. Especially, may I shock you, if it's a Christian narcissist, that all on the name of we cannot fight, I will not argue with you, I will not shout, I will not do this. You will be shocked with who they are. And do you know, let me shock you about these people. It's only people that are close to them that can detect a narcissist. Their staff doesn't detect it. Their boss doesn't detect it. People that detect is people that have close relationship, and most of the time it has to do with the wife and the children. We hardly had a women narcissist. It's not so common, but it's so common with the men. It's their wife and the children that are the victim of this. So even the woman cannot express what is going through inside the house. People will say, for where kò jẹ́jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Our boss, our pastor, our brother, bọ̀dá mi kò ní wà yẹn. People, there is nothing you want to say because everybody will just be seeing you as a bad person, and they will use their children, their own children, they will use it to flog the woman. So when you are in this case, padlock your mouth, find your peace by yourself. Find your peace by yourself. Close your eyes to whatever is going on. You must, at the same time, you must be a praying woman. You must be a prayer. They are preoccupied with fantasies. I've said fantasies about success, power, brilliance, beauty, or the perfect rate. These are the things. When you see, they have fantasies. They can tell their woman, I don't want you to dress this way. But those are the dresses that enter their mind outside. Fantasies about beauty, success, promotion, this and that. They believe they are superior to others and can only spend time with or be understood by equally special people. Wherever people should go, family function, they just tell you they will not go there, they will not attend. And they might even tell you they have work, they will use work to, because they just say, what they want to go and do there. That is who they are. No, this is not my. But if it's a functions of who matter in the society, they will find, they didn't invite them, but they will find their way to make sure that they enter that place. And that is who they are. Believe they are superior. I've said that. Be critical of and look down on people they feel are not important. This one used to baffle me. You have money, you want to buy groundnut or bole or biscuit. What else do they sell on the road? Or corn. You pack and you are buying from these people. And your change, you give them maybe 1,000 naira and you have change of 100 naira. And the woman say, I don't have change. And you will stay there, say you should go and look for that change. That is a narcissist. They can't give people under them. No, they don't do it. As long as you cannot be among their supply, they can't help you. Whatever they give you is because they want to recruit you into part of their supply. so that they can use you to beat whoever they want to beat. That is their target. So those people outside that they are less privileged, they are not part of their supply. So 50 naira change that remain with them, the woman must go and look for it. If you meet them, say, it's her boss, you have money. You say, no, 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 50 naira is money. 50 naira is money. Because it's a narcissist. The woman has nothing to offer him, and that is why he can't give that money. The same person, you will see him, you are going, he will dash somebody 10,000 naira, 5,000 naira. You be want to pay, you are busy collecting, and the person will say, I'll get change in. Oh, 5,000, don't worry, don't worry. How is it 5,000? Don't worry, you can keep it. Not because it's Omodada, it's because he wants to recruit him as part of his supply. So he use it. They take advantage of others to get what they want. They know that you need them for something. So, okay, I can use you. I can use you. They can use anybody, even their children. They can use it as a supply to get their target. They don't care whoever, and they don't care the outcome. They don't care that their child is being hurt or not. As long as is how will I put it now? Is a tools for that moment to be used on their victim, on their target. They will use it. They are envious of others and believe others envy them. That one is very demonic. They are envious. Especially the success of their wife, they can't stand it. They can't stand it. They are envious of others. They are very envious of others. They behave in an arrogant way, brag a lot, and come across a conceited. They brag a lot to people they can brag to. They can't come and brag to the wife. They can't brag to the children. They see all the nakedness. So, but when they get outside, they brag a lot. I have this, I am this, I am that, I am that. And the wife is looking, all this to me, I didn't see, oh. At the moment you want to ask, uncle, this is a problem. Don't ask, madam. Whatever is bragging about at home, you just know, say this one a lie. But one thing is, don't join him. Don't join him to do the lie. If you are be covering him up, if you are be helping him, stop it. Because Jesus can come at any time. And Jesus will not say, okay, because my husband, I want to come. Don't cover him up. Stop it. Follow your own path. Don't attack him. Don't tell him, say this thing, this thing is not true now. He don't talk him. Leave him there. You just follow your own path. Follow the truth. Because the Bible says that the truth that you know will set you free. It may only take time, but it will set you free. One day, you will be free. They insist on having the best of everything. The best of everything. They just insist on it. Even if it's not convenient. Even if you cannot. Even if you that they are demanding that thing for, even if you don't have it. Even if you don't have it. At the same time, they become impatient and angry when they don't receive special recognition. And that is when they begin to behave devilish. Let me use that word. They are so impatient with you, and they can go extra because they want that attention, that recognition from you. And as long as you are not giving them, they will go extra to bring you down. There's nothing they cannot do. Unimaginable, unthinkable thing. They will do it to bring you down. And don't fall victim. You know why? Because all what they are after is to make sure that you lose your hold. You lose your grip, you lose your peace, you get angry. But the moment you don't give them that thing, you are cool with yourself, you are calm, you are peace. They can't stand it. They are wondering, with everything that is happening around that, where is the peace coming from? Why is he so calm? Why is he not reacting? Why is he not shouting? Why is he not doing this? Don't do it again. Tell yourself, this is not who I am. I am more than this. And move on. So they get impatient. They have major problem interacting with others. and easily feel slighted. That is it. They don't really have plenty friends because they don't like people putting them down. They don't like people telling them that no, you can't have your way. So they look for their people, their circle that they can control. So and they stay there. They don't really they stay there. So they have major problem interacting with people. You might think that, oh, this brother is so spiritual. I know he doesn't have friends, he doesn't talk too much. They are only looking for control. As long as they can't get the control there, they are not there. Anybody that try to oppose whatever they do, you are not part of them. They react with rage or contempt or try to belittle other people to make themselves appear superior. I've said this before. They can go any length. They can do anything to bring you down, to make sure they are ahead of you. Auntie, mama, don't let it get to you. Move on with your life, because one thing is that you can't change them. It's like they are like Ephraim. The Bible say Ephraim. He said to the Israelites, he said, leave Ephraim alone. You can't change them. Don't get angry. Don't start crying. And one thing, don't defend yourself. Don't debunk their information, and don't judge whatever they have said. Leave them for God. Don't do it. Because you don't even have the words to counter whatsoever they have gathered together, whatsoever they have said against you. Those people that they use as supply, they are still coming to become their victim one day. Because those ones, you got the time, they too will discover, say, no, this person is not like this is not like this. And before you know it, they will be moving out. But as one is leaving, they are recruiting another one. So, as so far this one don't discover that that is not how the story is, they will come back to you. Where you are, they will come and meet you there. But if you have scattered ground, you have fight, they too, they will be not be seeing you and say, you are a bad person. They have difficulty managing their emotions and behavior. They can't manage it. That's why they always look for control everywhere. Experience major problems dealing with stress and adapting to change. Stress and adapting to change, they have it. They withdraw from or avoid situations in which they might fail. When you are trying to attack them or correct them or bring suggestions to them, and they really know that you know what they say, they avoid you. You think that because they avoid you that they are coming back to say, oh, I understand. No, they avoid that. They are seriously looking for supply to bring you down. They don't like it. Have secret feelings of insecurity, shame, humiliation, and fear of being exposed as failure. This is one of the major things about them. These feelings of insecurity is so great. That is why they don't want anybody to be above them. Fear of failure. Failure of people know that they don't do this thing well. It's one of their major problem. And if they are not well managed, they end up depressed and they commit suicide. Higher rate of people that commit suicide, they are narcissists, which cannot handle failure or public disgrace or public shame. This thing happens to everybody everywhere. Oh. It happens to everybody everywhere. I went to a salon which day like maybe 2 weeks now. I want to make this hair, and it's not far from my house. At the time, I was feeling pressed. I was just managing and managing it. At the point I couldn't manage, I said, Mother, I need to rush home now. The thing hooked me like anything. You see the way I was running in the community. This thing happens to everybody. Anybody that want to, I want to cash one, you cash one. That is my day. Your own day is coming. Who knows where the thing will hook you? Maybe you'll be inside traffic and you are the one driving and you can't leave your car. What are you going to do? It happens to everyone. So you must be able to know how do you manage stress. So they can't manage the failure, fear of being exposed as a failure. They are not secure. So this is one of the major things that happen to them. Then let's look at the causes of this thing. Causes of this thing is environmental. Parent-child relationship with either too much adoration or too much criticism that don't match the child's actual experiences and achievement. Too much adoration when they were small. Olówó orí mi, ọkọ mi. No, those things they are good. But when in everything, everybody around them must applaud them. Either they are good or they are not good. Your child is sleep from morning night, and everybody they are awake, he's still sleeping. He now wake up around 10. Somebody that is supposed to have gone there and pour water on him, give him a dirty slap, or waking up at the normal time. Olówó orí mi, you are awake. Pẹ̀lẹ́, food is ready. He didn't know. By the time he grew up, all what he knows that everything I've been doing is good. The moment anybody wants to bring him down, they can't stand it. Too much adoration. When you allow everybody around him, they praise them, they bring him up, they raise him up. The day he faced with challenges and people say, no, this score is not correct, this your assignment is not correct, they feel bad. Or somebody in their space has to tell them, say, no, I disagree with that your suggestions, I think we should like this. They feel bad because they can't stand it. Or when they have experienced too much criticism in their life, so they come up with this thing that there's something good about me. So there is two way, either extreme adoration or extreme criticism. That is the environmental causes of narcissism. And this thing leads to insecurity. Another thing can be genetics. If it runs in the father, it runs in the host. It can be genetics that definitely the children pick up the habit. It can be neurobiology, the connection between the brain and behavior and thinking. So this one is now a health factor. Might be an health factor that the thinking faculty, not because it was raised that way, not because it's an inherited trait, but his thinking faculty cannot process things correctly. So it becomes a neurobiology effect. That is the connection between the brain and the behavior, the thinking. It's the brain. The brain is the one that tells you, don't talk, be quiet, do this. So if the brain cannot access all those, if the brain cannot process those things, it makes them to misbehave. Then what are the complications of this thing? Relationship difficulties. They can't handle relationship. It doesn't matter their level. That's why you hear a lot of marriages collapse. Narcissist can't handle relationship. There's no amount of places that you go to for counseling, for this and that. As you are leaving the place, you are starting another trouble. They can't handle it. They can't handle it. Problems at work and schools, depression and anxiety. And this personality disorder, as they go in it, they carry other personality join body. Lack of trust will set in, insecurity will set in, they become being paranoid, antisocial disorder, we say SDP will set in, borderline will set in. So all these things, schizotype will set in like that. So they carry other disorder join body, not their own. So that it might even be difficult for you to say, is it a narcissist? Is it this? Is it that it's paranoid? Is it that the borderline is antisocial? They carry other things join body, and which is making it so difficult for them. They have physical health problems, and they misuse drug and alcohol, suicidal thoughts or behavior, and it becomes more complicated because they cheat, they lie, they gaslight. These are narcissists. How do you prevent it? You can get treatment as soon. If you know you are a narcissist, you can get treatment. You can get treatment. You can participate in family therapy. You can escort parenting classes, you can attend parenting classes. And one of the things that you can do, that if, like I've been saying, if you marry to a narcissist, how do you help yourself? You can't help them, but you can help yourself. How do you help yourself? Is to go silence, to go calm on them. Do not react, and don't forget prayer. I always say prayer is the key. Prayer is the key in everything. Prayer is the master key. Hey, Jesus started with prayer and ended with prayer. Prayer is the master. You can't do anything without God. Even in that your silent state, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. God must back you up. So prayer is the key. So, and then seek your own peace. Seek your own peace. Make sure that your peace is just not dependent on who he is, what he's doing, where he's going, what with this and that. Make sure that you are the determinant factor of your own life. And don't forget, the Bible says that we draw from the well of salvation. Make sure you are happy all the time. It's very, very important for you. Make sure that you are always happy, that nothing tamper with your joy. If we can be this, say, I know, we will just discover that all the troubles that they used to bring in from right, left, and center does not affect you again. Why? Because you have decided to move ahead of the train. Thank you for listening to us again. God bless you. See you again next time. I remain your host, Fine Girl. Don't forget to share, to like, and to comment. We love to hear from you. God bless you. Bye.